We are going to be getting Mega Mewtwo and Mega Metagross in Pokemon Go really soon, and the reason why I say this is because the assets for these Pokemon was recently pushed to the Pokemon Go servers. We need to talk about this. There's a lot of exciting stuff that's coming in the horizon. Alright, how's it going everyone? Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon Go video. I hope your day is going really well, and let's dive right into it. So new assets have been pushed to Pokemon Go, and when it comes to new assets, typically they are kind of like the foreshadowing for a bunch of content that's coming in the following months. And that means we're going to be getting ourselves some really good Mega Evolutions as well as some really unique and cool Pokemon that are going to be coming in the next couple of months. I predict that some of these Pokemon are going to be the headliners for Pokémon GO Fest of this year, and I really do think that for whatever the next season is going to be, we're going to be getting ourselves some really good Pokemon. Now before I continue, I have to say that a lot of this stuff is based on data mined content. There's nothing that I'm going to be saying in this video that's going to be concrete. It's going to be a lot of speculation. A lot of the things that I'm going to be predicting regarding Pokemon GO Fest, as well as some of the content for the next season, is all subject to change, because Niantic has certainly done that, where they've pushed certain assets into Pokemon Go, and we did not see those assets get officially launched for quite some time. So yeah, even though it's really exciting that we're getting some of these Pokemon finally in Pokemon Go, we do not know exactly when they are going to be announced. So yeah, until we get those official announcements, do not think that these Pokemon are going to be in the game anytime soon. It could be potentially in a couple of months, a couple of years after when we predict they're going to be released. So yeah, that's something you should definitely keep in mind. But regardless of all that, let's now speculate regarding these assets. First and foremost, let's talk about the assets themselves. We have the Mega Evolutions that have yet to be in the game finally in Pokemon Go, like for example Mega Mewtwo X and Mega Mewtwo Y, as well as Mega Metagross. These are the three Mega Evolutions that a lot of players are widely anticipating right now because they are going to be game changers. Mega Metagross is going to be a very powerful Steel type Mega Evolution, and it's definitely something that a lot of players are going to use. Of course, it's still not going to be as strong as the Dawnwing's Necrozma. That's definitely the most powerful Steel type in the game right now, but when it comes to Mega Evolutions, Steel types are definitely far and few between. I think right now the only viable Mega Evolution that you could use for Steel types is probably going to be Mega Lucario, and it doesn't necessarily have that good of a Steel type moveset. So yeah, I think this is really exciting. I think it's definitely going to create waves whenever it eventually gets released. My prediction is that it's going to be part of some sort of raid day in the next season. I do think that for what it comes to Pokemon Go's hype, the raid days have been actually pretty good, and I think Mega Metagross is definitely going to generate a lot of hype. And then, of course, we gotta talk about Mega Mewtwo X and Mega Mewtwo Y. These are going to be as strong, if not stronger, than Mega Rayquaza. And if you recall, they actually had a whole Pokemon Go Fest dedicated to that Mega Evolution. And I do predict that that's going to be the case for this year's Pokemon Go Fest. Last year, we had the fusion forms for Necrozma, and they definitely made waves. And I think for this year, it's going to be the two Mega Evolutions for Mewtwo. And this is the penultimate Mega Evolution. I do think that when it comes to Mega Mewtwo, that's the Mega Evolution that a lot of players are going to want to prioritize. It's going to be the absolute best Generalist. It's obviously going to be the absolute best Psychic type. And regardless of whatever form you pick, they're definitely going to be some of the strongest Pokemon around. So yeah, I do think it's really exciting that we're finally getting both of these Mega Evolutions, and I really do hope and I really do think that it's going to be from Pokemon Go Fest of this year. Now that their assets are in the game, it's just a matter of time until we do see them in the game officially. And I do think that this year is going to be the year where we're finally going to be seeing these three very powerful Mega Evolutions. Now, there's going to be the other Mega Evolutions that were recently introduced. There's going to be Mega Sharpedo, Mega Audino, as well as some other Mega Evolutions. I think these assets are just in the game right now. I do not know if they're going to be added into the game this year. It's very possible. It's likely that they're going to be through a raid day, just like with Mega Metagross and some of the Mega Evolutions that we've seen so far. And I think this year is going to be a pretty good year if they were to release all of these Mega Evolutions. We are, of course, going to be seeing new Mega Evolutions get added into the Pokemon franchise with the upcoming Legends game. So I do think they're trying to get us up to speed. They're trying to get all the Mega Evolutions added into the game up until that point, so that when they introduce new Mega Evolutions, they could release those Mega Evolutions into Pokemon Go as some sort of cross promotion. That's just my thinking on it. And now let's talk about some of the other assets that were recently added to Pokemon Go. These also include some legendaries that I think a lot of players are going to want. We got the crowned forms of Zacian and Zamazenta. Their assets are now in the game. I do not know when they're going to be released. I do think they're going to make some sort of huge event for both of these Pokemon, possibly with some sort of Galar legendary raid day. And then there's of course a lot of other Pokemon which I am completely not familiar with. Some of these are definitely familiar, but I really do not know any of them, so yeah, forgive me for that. I do not know a lot of Pokemon outside of Gen 4 and beforehand, so yeah. But there's going to be a lot more Pokemon, and I'm glad, because the more Pokemon that they release into the game, the more the game is going to feel fresh, so hopefully we'll start seeing some of these new Pokedex entries through in-game events, and it's going to keep the game relevant for a majority of players. So yeah, overall, I'm really excited about all these assets. I think it's really nice and exciting that Niantic is pushing out a lot more content. And it's really just going to depend on when they release a lot of these Pokemon. Like I said earlier, I think Mega Mewtwo and Mega Metagross are the standouts from this list of assets, and the way that they release them are hopefully going to be incredibly hype. I do predict that, like I said, Mega Mewtwo is going to be the highlighted Pokemon for Pokemon Go Fest of this year. It's not something that I know from inside, like I don't have insider knowledge regarding that. It's not like I've talked to someone at Niantic and they leaked that information. It's just my speculation, because I'm thinking about the trends and I'm thinking about how they've been doing Pokemon Go Fest as of late, and it just makes sense to me. Like, if they're going to be doing the fusions for Kyurem with the Go Tour event, then it's just natural that they do something even bigger for the Go Fest event, and it totally makes sense to me that they would go with Mega Mewtwo, and I really hope that's the case, because Pokemon Go Fest this year is looking to be pretty hype, in my opinion, and I will be attending that. I know I'm not going to be attending the LA Go Tour event, even though I said I was going to. It's really unfortunate. It has a lot to do with not only the fires, like the place I was going to stay at is actually no longer there, and then of course, just a lot of different things have been happening in my real life, so yeah, it's preventing me from being able to go to LA, but at least for New York, I'm still set to go to New York for Go Fest, and I'm really excited about that, because if they were to release Mega Mewtwo for Go Fest, I think it's going to be the best Go Fest we've ever had. It's definitely going to be the most hype. I think a lot of players are going to get really excited if it ends up being the case, and hopefully that ends up being so, and we'll just have to wait and see. And then of course with Mega Metagross, I'm excited for that. I think that's one Mega Evolution that I've been really waiting for. I think it's going to be powerful. And yeah, I just really hope this year ends up being a good year. Like, last year was pretty good in terms of some of the Pokemon releases and a lot of the stuff that Niantic did, but it's been up and down. I feel like there's been a lot of things that players have been complaining about, and there's also a lot of things that they've been celebrating, and I really hope this year it tips more into the scales of positivity, because when it comes to Pokemon Go, I really think this game deserves a resurgence. I think it's something that a lot of players would like to see. I think people have been playing this game for a very long time, and they're finally starting to get very bored with it. I'm starting to see it a lot in my comments. Like, a lot of you are starting to say that you don't ever spend any money in the game, you hardly ever play the game on the daily, and I really think that's going to be up to Niantic to fix. It's going to be up to them to provide the content to actually generate a lot of that hype and a lot of that excitement, and a lot of these assets that were pushed, they're definitely going to do that. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be an exciting summer, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. But in any case, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts regarding these pushed assets down below. Are you really excited for anything in particular? Are you thinking that some of this stuff is going to be at Pokemon Go Fest? Definitely share your thoughts and your opinions down below in the comments, and let's have a great discussion. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here, and don't forget that little bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. Real quick, let me give a shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support the Jinsula channel, the absolute best way you could do that is always going to be by joining my Patreon. If you become a paid Patreon member, I'm going to add you to my Pokemon Go friends list, and that means for stuff like remote raids and the friendship system. If you want to play Pokemon Go with me, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. And if you want to support my channel in a completely different way, you could do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula. I'm on the platforms that you see on the bottom of your screen. Make sure you go over there and give me a follow. And that's going to be it for this video. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you in the next one.